To those of you who can honestly say that you don't know what domestic violence is carried out by someone that you used to love, maybe even still love, someone who claims to love you and care about you. And just because we didn't know our partner was going to do this to us doesn't make us weak, irrational, or crazy. There are so many parts of domestic violence that are unrelated to other forms of crimes, such as whether we'll be able to keep a roof over our head afterwards, and will we be able to protect our children. And the abuse is not always straightforward. A lot of times it's subtle and cunning. When you meet an abusive person, they don't forewarn you that they're going to start hurting you on a specific date. This is not an issue of anger management, and it's not impulsive behavior. It's about a person who chooses to methodically and repeatedly gain power and control over another person. We all ignore certain warning signs in the beginning of our relationships when everything is fresh and exciting. His tendency to get jealous because you looked in the direction of another guy, or like in my case, his habit of calling a little too often just to check on what I was doing and who I was with. However, once reality takes over, things progress. You might not always want what he wants. You might look at him in the wrong way, or he might notice that his hold on you just isn't as strong as he wants it to be, so he starts to test boundaries, just to see what he could get away with. The average abuse victim makes 7 attempts to leave before finally leaving for good. That's at least according to a common statistic. I don't like statistics because if we start putting numbers on things, we don't take into account how different each situation is. There is no average abuse victim. And we shouldn't praise someone who leaves immediately if it means criticizing the person who needs 8, 9, or 10 attempts before she can leave, or the victim who's too afraid and never able to leave. There is no trajectory for the relationship or the abuse that is taking place. When we talk about averages, we run the risk of judging those who don't measure up to what the average is. When I first left the abuser, someone said to me, "Oh, he only would have had to hit me once and I would have been gone." You don't know that. You don't know what you would do in that situation. I didn't know what I would do in that situation, and I lived it. I grew up in an abusive family. I put myself through therapy for years. I thought I knew the signs. I thought I could see every red flag coming. Obviously, I couldn't. So I urge you to stop judging and begin listening, because we cannot affect change until we begin to listen and try to comprehend another person's pain. And believe me, change is definitely required, but it can't happen until we start listening.